Yeah, we are live at Builders and Co-Creators. It's at PM as
Hi,
usual. Yes.
hi, good
Hello, Salim.
evening, creators and co-creators. Good evening, Mwangi. Good to see you. As communicated earlier, that we would go live on this broadcast this evening. Here we are at 8:30. We hope that you have about 20 to 25 minutes so that we can engage in matters that pertain to building and construction. And as we had promised earlier, we lined out a group of some segments for you that we believe are relevant. And this evening we are speaking with a dream shaper who is an architect. Whew, sorry, excuse my pronunciation. So we are talking to a gentleman who is a trained and registered architect. His name is Victor Jose Amwai, and Victor is the founding director of Ecoflage. Ecoflage actually is a company that's founded in Kenya and domiciled in Kenya, small, upcoming very steadily, and they deal in building and construction solutions that are environmentally friendly or that are eco-friendly. He'll tell us more about his business. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Victor Jose Amwai.
Thank you very much, Selin and Mwangi.
Welcome,
Hi, Victor.
Victor.
You're very
Hello.
welcome to the show. Thank you for creating time. We'll hold you here for about 20, 25 minutes. You want to tell us about a bit about Ecoflage, your company?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, please. 20 seconds.
Um, Thank you very much, Selin and Mwangi, once again. Ecoflage is actually a construction company that is involved in design and build. We design architectural projects, and the clients engage us in
We
building
would
the
go
same
live
projects that we
on this
design.
broadcast.
So once we've designed, the client engages us in construction and management of the project until it's over. Then we hand it over back to the client.
So you
That's
actually
mainly
design and build.
and build.
Ah, good. This
Yes.
day in this interview, we'll be speaking with you as an architect. Obviously, because you do both, there will be a bit of overlap here and there, which is fine.
Yes.
So feel free as long as it makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Victor, to dive right into the discussion, who is an architect and what does an architect do?
Uh, an architect basically designs buildings and supervises the construction of the said buildings. An architect acts as a bridge between the client and the contractor, and makes sure whatever is in the client's mind, the concept, he brings it to a reality, explains it to the client, what's possible, what's not possible, and engages the contractor, puts it on the ground, supervises it, and ensures that what was expected by the client comes to a reality. We bring the dream, we turn it into a reality. That's basically what an
Excellent.
architect does.
Okay, so you actually design what we
Yes,
call draw.
yes,
Nichore, that's what you do, right? That's what
yes,
designing
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
yes, that's
And
what
when
yeah.
you talk
designing is.
designing, and when you speak designing, you mean floor plan? You mean that you
Uh,
give client what is designing?
Designing actually doesn't start from the floor plan.
Yeah.
Designing starts with engaging the client in developing what we call a brief. A brief is the client gives you an idea of what he or she wants in the project. Probably it might be something amorphous that the client has been having an idea of it. It's up to the architect to explain it to the client, whether what he or she thinks of is possible. Then from there, the architect's advises the client on the designs in stages. We start with
It-
sketches,
it-
engage
yeah.
the client on the sketches. When you do those sketches, the client might not like them. You have to go back to the drawing board and come up with better sketches that the client likes. Once you're done with that, then you move to the next stage, where you'll be generating floor plans. You do the floor plans, then you come back again and also meet the client again. You take him or her through, and you let them know of some of the issues that they might not be aware of in this floor plan. From there, when you agree on that, you end up generating elevations and 3Ds. 3Ds are quite important to clients because they tend to understand 3D renders better than architectural plans and elevations and a lot of line works. So it's quite important to give a client an artist impression of the project. That's
Excellent.
what designing on and generation of floor plans involve.
And of course, when you meet different clients, you go to
Yes.
their sites, because something that might be workable on my site might not be workable on Mwangi's site. Is that not so?
You have to visit the site.
Mm-hmm.
You have to visit the site because the areas where there are site limitations, the plot might be small, it might be weirdly shaped, but in the client's brief, he's given you quite a lot of expectations and requirements that he or she wants. You have to know how you work with this site, whether it's triangular. There's some that are triangular. You can be lucky enough to get a square or a rectangular plot that is easier to work on. This site also, the slope matters. You might find a site that has quite a steep gradient, and you'll have to find a way of working it out. Either incorporate the design with the gradient, or you decide to level some parts of the site. All those you have to visit the site so that you pick those apparatus, those factors. Also, the state of the ground, geological factors. You might find the soil there is black cotton soil. That time you have to excavate the whole of it. You might find some sites that are rocky. You have to find a way of dealing with it. There's some sites that actually have underground water passing through them. You have to find another way of dealing with that. So you have to visit the site so that you take the measurements. You also make an inventory of infrastructure and other facilities on that site. The sites that have water lines running adjacent to them. The sites that have sewer lines running adjacent to them. Those are service sites.
And these are architecture. These are infrastructural functions or realities that the owner of the property may not know, right?
Yes, the owner of the property may not know.
Yeah, viewers, in this city, you are sold roads, you are sold sewer lines, you are sold road reserves. So because the architect has a bigger picture, or they can at least get a bigger map of the area where you exist or where your property exists, they'll be able to tell you, madam, hiyo veranda unavuta sana, itakupeleka kwa sewer line, or something like that. And the reason I'm asking Victor these questions, ladies and gentlemen, is because a lot of I've seen it on this page. Somebody puts up a structure or a house, and everyone is like, "Oh, sell me that plan, or can I buy it off you? Or please send me this." Some people even want it free of charge. Never mind that the owner actually bought it. The reason I'm bringing these things up is to impress upon you, ladies and gentlemen, of builders and co-creators, that indeed your project will be unique. If I say I built my house at 1 million, the same house at your property might be 3 million, because sometimes you need excavation, other times it needs to be twisted in a certain way, and for all this you need an architect. So for those of you who are asking for plans, you can only do so much with them. You can apply. The reason why you get an architectural plan that is written Akoth Onoka, plot number this in Umoja, is because it is specific to Akoth Onoka in Umoja. Sorry, Victor, I'm talking too much. Let's go back to the interview. Yeah. So are architects regulated?
Architects are regulated.
By whom?
In Kenya, architects are regulated by law passed by parliament, and Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors. It's called BORAX. And also architects have a professional association called AAK, Architectural Association of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So these two bodies are the bodies that are in charge of regulating architects in Kenya. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
know whether an architect can practice, you can find the list in these two bodies. If an architect's practicing license has been cancelled, you can find it from these two websites of these two professional bodies.
So there is Borax, and then there is the Architectural Association of Kenya. Are you a member of both? Victor, are
I'm a
you
member of
bona fide?
Architectural Association of Kenya.
And what's your membership number?
My
We are
membership
checking
number.
it. Do you
Yes,
remember?
I'll send it to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to actually share with you on this thread Victor's membership number, so that you know that here we are talking to professionals, bona fide, trained. Victor, are you trained in Kenya?
I'm trained in Kenya, University of Nairobi, Department
Mm-hmm.
of Architecture, Building Science.
Okay.
Yes.
That's enough of your CV. So tell us, Victor, how does an
Yes.
architect relate with the other professionals in a building and construction project? Like, how do you relate, or how do you interface with engineers, or with quantity surveyors, or landscape architects, or quantity, how do you interface with them? At what point do they hand over to you, or at what point do you hand over to them?
During the construction process, really we can't say that one professional hands over to the other one, because we work as a team until the project is over. When the architect brings these other professionals on board, that is the structural engineer, electrical engineer, you can also bring on board the mechanical engineer and the quantity surveyor. It's a process that you people will work together until the project ends. The quantity surveyor comes. The quantity surveyor comes on board even before the project commences. The importance of a quantity surveyor is that when you'll be given quotations, when you're signing a contract with a contractor, he'll give you his own quotations of from the bill of quantities that have been generated by the quantity surveyor. Personally, you as the client, you'll have an idea of the total cost of your project generated by the quantity surveyor. So by the time you're bringing contractors on board, they'll have their own quotations, and you'll compare their quotations to these other bill of quantity that has been generated to you by your quantity surveyor, and you'll know where a contractor is overpricing, or where a contractor is underquoting the works. These can give you an idea whether you're getting a raw deal or not. For a structural engineer, once the architect is done with his design, not when he's done with his design, when he's still designing, he needs to bring a structural engineer on board. Architects are generally artistic, and at times they can be carried away with art till a structural engineer tells you it's not possible because of this and that. At times it's a push and pull. You can find a structural engineer who also does not want to be creative. So he'll be telling you this cannot work or this cannot work. So it's a push and pull thing, and you end up coming to a consensus over this design. So that one is also involved through the design work. Electrical guys also come on board. At times clients don't end up using them because they feel any normal Kawaya guy can do these things. But
is that true?
They're important because I've been involved in projects that were initially messed up by the Kawaya guys, and later after it's been messed up is when we I advise the client to bring on board an a qualified electrical guy, and we did a few changes in the works. So the electrical guy is also very important in this design. For the mechanical engineer, especially for big projects, where you need lifts and other services and air conditioning. They come on board, and they're also quite important there. Landscaping, as it is landscaping architect, you'll need a landscape architect to do some good work on your environment as the project goes on, or even as it's complete. And also to add to that, you also need, finally, when the project is over, you'll need an interior designer. An interior designer can work with a complete project. Once it's complete, he or she comes in and gives you an input on the final end product, and then you work from there. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you for walking us through that. Now, there are people who have projects where they think they do not need an architect. So, and they use somebody who puts together something for them. Oh, hiyo ni corridor, alafu unapita hapo, you'll end up in the bathroom. Hii itakuwa shared, that sort of thing. A lot of us think that we can actually draft. So I want to know the difference between an architect and a draftsman. What's the difference? Mbona tuwezi jitoria nyumba 2 bedroom? Why do I need you?
A draftsman works under an architect. He assists an architect. When it comes to design and coming up with a concept, the architect can come up with a concept, start working on the floor plans. But when it comes to, there are some works that that the project will need. Like now, once you've designed and come up with the floor plans, you'll need what we call working drawings and measured drawings. Measured drawings are in those same floor plans. You need to put measurements on the floor plans. That one is where a draftsman will assist you. You need to come with what we call window schedules. Window schedules are for each window. It has a design, it has sizes and the type of metal that is going to be used and glass. Once it's been designed, it's the work of the draftsman to come up with all those measurements and description of the material that is going to be used. That work
okay,
is
so then that means then they are technical assistants.
They are technical assistants.
So they need to
maybe.
understand. Yes, Mwangi. Mwangi wants to add in something because that's his area as well.
Yeah, I understand this area too much. I know maybe I want to ask between, you see, a draftsman, give a draftsman maybe 3 years or 5 years being a draftsman. That guy has enough experience to actually also do some design. So now, maybe I know there is a conflict about between these draftsmen, guys holding diplomas and licensed architects. Don't you think like the draftsmen are actually capable of designing maybe a 1-bedroom house, a 2-bedroom house, a 3-bedroom house comfortably without the need of or the input of a licensed architect?
From experience, yeah, I know that the draftsmen who are quite experienced, and even while they're working on these works that have been drafted by and sketched by the architect, they get that experience. From the ones I've worked with, they can do that work. But once it's done, legally they need a registered architect, at least to make it a legal framework, so that if anything happens to that project, there's someone who is liable for it. Let the registered architect who he's working under be liable for anything that happens to that project. But they are capable.
Yeah. Yes. It's probably the case of a clinical officer versus a doctor. They actually do something only that there's a certain level of responsibility and a certain level of referral that must be done to the doctor rather than the nurse, senior nurse, or clinical officer, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I also agree too. Celine, maybe at this point, maybe I can see some of people are engaging us in the comments, and maybe we can ask them so that they can tell us in the comments. Why do you think you need an architect for your project? For the people viewing us, please engage us in the comments and tell us maybe why do you think you need an architect in your project. Let's see your comments, and we'll be able to also to give a shout out as we proceed. So
Nice.
Celine,
So
proceed.
who are watching, tell us why you think you need an architect for your project, and we'll give you a shout out. We'll sample some of your responses and, give Victor an opportunity to respond to those. Some people may think they do not need an architect. Like, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I did not tell you, my house was actually designed by Victor Hosea, which is the reason he's the first one here. And initially, I actually thought I would be able to draw that house. Believe it or not. By the time he gave us the end product, I realized that, yeah, I needed this guy. Anyway, so Victor, all these buildings that are not designed by an architect, what are some of the risks?
Some of the risk is that in most cases, buildings that have been designed by people who are not professionally trained, when it comes to functionality, they rarely function 100%. What am I saying here? I'm saying that when it comes to how the spaces, individual spaces have been designed, those spaces don't work 100%. You'll find a space, a situation whereby someone has designed the way a sitting room is related to other rooms, or the way a sitting room is related to a kitchen or a dining hall or a dining room. It doesn't work. So interrelation of spaces in most cases that are been designed by people who are not qualified don't work. These people are not qualified. Once they do that design and probably they end up supervising that project, deep inside they'll know they'll have made a mistake, but they won't be able to tell the client that mistake. So they'll try and hide that mistake. At the end of the day, you'll be finding yourself in a house that is very stuffy, and you wonder, how come this house is stuffy, yet your neighbor's house is not stuffy, yet you're under the same environment? A house that is dark during the day, yet your neighbor's house does not use electricity during the day. It's just natural lighting. When it comes to ventilation, a house that you look at the walls, they have mold because there's too much moisture in the house. Such issues are as a result of poor design. Also,
Yeah.
other issues might be even aesthetics wise.
Yeah.
Someone might the person designing who is not that qualified, he might be having aesthetical ideas, but he doesn't know when to stop designing. He over designs. So it ends up being designing clutter, coming up with clutter instead of knowing when to stop to design. You can
Yeah.
start something for aesthetic purposes and you need to know when to stop. Otherwise, you'll overdo it. The end product won't
Agreed.
work.
Agreed.
Yes.
I've been to places, members, where the house next door is very dark, or somehow there's no airflow in the house because maybe there was no architect who visited the site to tell the wind flow and the airflow in terms of direction and intensity. And so the house is very stuffy, or it's very warm inside, or somehow the house faces a wrong direction that is not consistent with the movement of the sun from the east to the west, or somehow the walls keep molding because the moisture content there was not considered, or somehow your kitchen smells. Somebody leaves the toilet and you cannot sit in the kitchen because the smell somehow flows in your direction. Or the latest one I've experienced is you close the corridor door and all the other doors open.
Ghosts in the
So,
house.
ladies and gentlemen, I know I visit many sites because it's a passion I got, and I can tell you that these things happen because there's a stage ulikosa hapo katikati. So find an architect that you can afford, but find an architect anyway. So Victor, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, or to ask you, is whether you as an architect have a signature style. What's your style like? What's your personal swag as an architect? What would you say it is?
I love classic architecture.
Mm-hmm.
I love columns that are decorated. I love windows that we add moldings around them with a lot of decoration. I love
Mm-hmm.
arches in the house, openings without doors, but have some decorative aspects in them. I love that. but also you need not to push what you love to a client's project.
Yeah.
You also need to hear what the client wants. There are people who don't like those decorative things. They simply love a functional house. Very
And
limited.
clean lines, square lines, modern finishes, nothing
Yes.
classical, nothing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So if
Okay.
I realize a client is not heading towards that side, then I can also shift and advise you towards your preferences. But for me,
Okay.
I prefer classical architecture.
So that's the
Yes.
house you would build for yourself, would be classical architecture. But obviously you're open-minded and you have the capability to shift your style towards what every client wants, because you've got to be malleable in that way. So the other thing I wanted to ask you is about construction approvals, because a lot of people build and then hapo katikati, hey, men in some sort of van come and they're like, nini naendelea hapa, munajenga nini hapa. Tell us about approvals and what your role is in approvals of building, of building projects.
In any construction work, the architects become the first level, the first professional to get in touch with them. It's good for the architects.
Did we lose Victor? Victor, you're back.
No.
Carry on. Carry on.
It's good for the architect to advise the client. Before a project starts, the client needs ownership documents of his or her plot. Any ownership document in Kenya, for start, it's registered as an agricultural land for agricultural purposes. You are not supposed to construct on it. It's only for agricultural purposes. When you're doing construction, you need what is referred to as change of use. You need to do a change of use for your plot from an agricultural land to a commercial land or residential constructions, for residential constructions. This change of use, you'll involve a professional called an urban planner. He'll visit your site. He'll analyze the infrastructures that are there. He'll analyze the environment, neighboring environment, and he'll go back to the area's physical planning office and refer to the zoning, zoning guidelines for that area. That is when.
Victor, sorry to interrupt. Does if a client tells you design this for me, is your role as an architect, are you able to return with the approvals done? I guess that's what our viewers would like to know. If I engage you to design for me a house, and you get, by the time you present it to me, you have the approval.
I'll need to brief you on the stages of approvals, because at times there are usually issues that might arise that if you don't brief your client before, the client might start suspecting you of coming up with issues just for the sake of getting.
Obviously, I think briefing along the way is a necessity, always. But then, I guess what our viewers or our builders would want to know is you're capable of doing it. You know where to go. You know the signatures that are required, and you will be able to brief them along the way and eventually deliver on an approval. Is that not so?
Yes, that is very possible when we do that.
And how much does an approval cost?
Approvals, they vary as per the counties. If you compare a county like Nairobi for a normal residential house, you should be looking for an amount of between 60,000 to around 120,000.
And it doesn't matter whether it's residential or commercial.
Now, when it rises to commercial and the size, it goes up. Yes.
Okay. If somebody wants to build a house in the village, they still need an approval?
According to the laws of Kenya, you need an approval, because that village is within a jurisdiction. It's within a county.
Yeah. Yeah.
And any development, construction development that is happening within a county needs to be approved by the Department of Physical Planning.
Aya,
So you
viewers,
need,
you had it. You had it. Unajenga nyumba ushago, unafikiri utaenda hapo uchimbe ulete watu. Go to your county headquarters and go to the planning office and get an approval. If you haven't
yes,
done so, please do so, at least so that they don't come back and say, oh, this cannot happen here. Please
yes,
do the right
yes,
thing, and we are here to guide you in in doing the right thing towards the right direction. So if you have built and you haven't, at least go and just have them rubber stamp to say that it's the right structure in the right place, because like Victor says, it is within a jurisdiction of the county planning office, and you do not want to be to bypass that. Yeah. So Victor, tell us how you charge your fees, because your fees is one of the things that a lot of people linger. Tell us how you charge your fees. What do you consider?
Considerations, first and foremost, is the type of project we are working on in terms of scale, whether it's small scale, medium, or large scale. Once we know where it falls, we have to come up with an average cost of the project. Within that cost of the project, payment is supposed to be done in terms of percentage of the total
But that depends
value.
on the architects, right?
Yes, total value of the project. And according to law, it's between 6 to 10% of the total value of the project. That's one. That's according
But
to
then
the laws of.
who gives the value? Because the value is supposed to be done through quantity survey, right?
Yes.
So let
By
me
the time
ask
we
you.
are coming up with designs, we haven't signed a contract yet, but at least we'll have showed new sketches and designs. We'll have had an idea of the total value of the project.
So it is an idea, because the person who gives the actual value would be the QS, the quantity surveyor, right? So
It will be
it's a
the case.
percentage of an approximation that you make based on the size and design of the project.
Yes.
And it can change.
It can change. It's an open market. It's
Yes.
an open market. You can, at times you have clients that you have a relationship with, not only in the construction industry, but also in other facets of life. So
Yeah.
you can agree on how you're going to work on this project.
So usually you go by law, it's between 6 to 10%, but usually it can come lower depending on how you agree or the relationship you have, right?
It should be between 6 to 10%.
Okay.
Then,
by the way, you are going to be giving our members a discount, right? If they come to you after this show, be giving them you'll be giving them a discount. What percentage discount are you giving our members?
We'll work with 5%.
Come on, Victor, you can do better. Give me lower.
It depends on the size of the bridge or of the project. Let's say for small, even a small scale project.
Yes, why not? We need a discount.
Let's
hit me with a good percentage, please.
Let's work with 7 to 10%.
I thought you said it's 6 to it's 5.
But no, but that's the discount. That's the discount.
No, it's not clear. So assuming my project is 5 million and you want to charge me 6 to 10%, say you charge me 10%, that would be 500,000.
That will be half. Then
you'll deduct 7%.
You'll deduct 7% of 500,000.
I see. So members, if you have a project that you need design and construction on, and this one Mwangi likes very much. Mwangi is the chief bargainer between the two of us. If you go to Victor of EcoFlage, company or firm or architectural firm, construction firm, you will be able to bargain a really good discount. So on this thread, members, if you have a project and you want Victor to work on it or EcoFlage to work on it, because it's a team of architects, it's not a one-man show, drop your request on this thread, this very thread. We will reach out to you. We will give you a code and we'll give Victor the same code. Now, when the two codes agree, then we will know that you're from this group, that you watched this show, and therefore Victor will be obliged to give you a very good percentage. Victor, be kind to our members, yeah?
Definitely.
You're one of us.
Yeah.
Please be kind to us.
Celine,
Okay.
Celine.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this one, I want to ask for a free plan. Yeah? For example,
Free plan?
yeah, free. Why not? Look, we also have members who are actually want to build maybe 1-bedroom house or 2-bedroom. That's a very small plan. I know you have some plans in your archive. I know every farm has. So maybe if you have those plans that you can give us for free for members to actually choose between 1-bedroom.
But you know,
two-bedroom.
the site factors might be different.
Yeah, but you know, when it comes to sites now, when it comes now to site, I think that's something else that the client and the architect can actually decide on how to charge. But from the start, for 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, you can give us for free. And then
Victor, please
Celine,
consider 1 or 2 bedrooms so that our members can gain from this, man. I know you have them. We will have this. Yeah.
yeah.
Think about it.
And then Celine, this is also maybe we also have other architects in the group. It is something maybe we shall be doing later. We also want to invite them to actually give the members, if you have 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom plan that you can actually easily give away. I think you are welcome. Help our members who are actually want to start out. These are your future clients.
Yes, this is
So they'll
true.
be able to recommend you. Yeah.
This is true. So this is an opportunity that Mwangi is sharing here. Mwangi, I wish we had discussed this earlier, but now you're bombarding me with it. So I am aligned. Architects in this group, Victor, if you have a 1 or 2-bedroom house that you think you can share, because really for you guys, you have them, share it with our members. They will recommend you. You will get the credits, and you never know what becomes of it. Shall we carry on? Because in our last part, So
maybe
Victor, you've already, yeah.
just because before you move on to that question, I know Victor was basing the charges on the cap that governs the architects and boards. This is cap 525. Victor, maybe I have just a quick one. Do you think that 6% to 10% is a bit repressive, given that maybe the market is being flooded with more and more architects, more and more technicians, more guys with diploma in architecture? Do you think it's time that the boards and maybe the AK sit down and actually look into that cap and actually reduce the charges?
Given the scope of work that the professional does, to me it's understandable within that percentage. But again, also I think for growth, and so that we don't hand over the clients to unqualified people, we can always talk. You see, it's not something that is cast on stone. But for that percentage, for that percentage, I think the person who designs and supervises that project up to the end, I think he deserves it.
All right, guys, we will not agree on pricing. What we need to agree on is that whatever cost you're given, there is room for bargaining. Haggle, and agree without necessarily, reducing on the quality of your work, and without necessarily running away to go to somebody who is not qualified. Because out here, a lot of people think they can actually design a house. I'm telling you, until you build a house and the kitchen smells of the sewer, or thing. I know those things. I have been to places where it happens. Okay, so Victor, I want you to share with us how builders can save. How can our builders save money, to achieve a sustainable budget in building their homes?
From experience, the first thing, a builder should have a plan, not the architectural plan, an actual plan for the project that you want to do. You should at least have an idea of the size of the project you want to do, and how much you are going to spend on it. In these, once you know how much you're going to spend on it, you also need to know you're going to spend on your project per stage. You need to know how much you're going to spend to excavate the foundation and cast the slab. Then from the slab, when you do the walls, all the way to the ring beam. Then from the ring beam all the way to the roof, then the finishes. All those stages, you need to know how much you're going to spend and how much materials you need, so that you
And
don't
then
end
how
up
can they save money? How can they save money? Is there a way
saving
they can save
money.
money?
Yes, you can
Yes.
save money, one, by using locally available materials.
Like?
Locally available materials, since they're locally available, you'll save money on transport costs and availability. The further you import your materials, the more amount of money you'll spend on them and the more time you'll spend on them.
This is
Technology-wise,
true.
it's more comfortable to use technology that has been tried and tested over time. New technology is interesting, it's appealing, but I wouldn't advise you to be the first one to use that new technology. Let other people use it first.
Which
Let
other
them
people
know
are
its
here?
pros and cons. Let them know its pros and cons. Then once they've realized these are the pros and these are the cons, you'll avoid the cons and just work on the pros. So when it comes to technology, it's better for you to use technology that has been tried and tested in time, not latest
Okay.
new technologies. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Victor, my last
Yes.
challenge to you. Please look into the camera and talk to our builders who are using online architectural plans, the ones that they download. What do you want to tell them?
Online architectural plans come with issues. Most of these nearly all of these online architectural plans are plans that have been used abroad, in areas that have completely different climate from our climate, the climate here in Kenya. These plans, when it comes to some issues of design, some of these plans have rooms that are completely mechanically ventilated, in that they use AC, they don't need natural ventilation. You will find a toilet that has no window in these plans because it has an allocation for air conditioning. You'll find a house that doesn't have enough windows or small windows because they have allocation for lighting, electrical lighting. Unlike when you are here in Kenya in an ordinary setting, you wouldn't want to incur costs on coming up with an AC. Yet, if you could have come up with a good design that is naturally ventilated because of windows and the way those windows have been placed, you'll avoid such costs. Natural lighting, you can use natural lighting, which is quite good and it's free.
Yeah,
but
and it's
from a
free.
design that is localized. These designs that are online don't have those things. Other things are, we have cultural issues. Those guys have their own culture as we have our own culture. There are some people who would like their bedroom to be on the left, master bedroom to be on the left, others master bedroom to be on the right, others master bedroom not to be attached, separated by only a wall to the other bedroom. You'll find that this online plan, it's completely different. Then when this guy builds, once he's done or is about to be done, is when he realizes that these things, it doesn't work with his culture. He ends up starting to change them. So this design, this project, you end up doing ukarabati in it. The
This is
end
true.
product won't be good. Yes. So these
Yeah.
online things, I know someone online has very good designs, but it's good if you pick something from the internet, there is an element that you like in that design. Share that element with a local architect so that the final product the element that you liked in that design is there on the final product, but it has been localized.
Nice. So members, what Victor is saying is, well, you can go online and get a house that you like or a plan that you like, but please share it with the local architect so that they can tell you what is suitable here. Usije ukatokelezea with a window that toilet window that has no window, and you don't have air conditioning. My friend, you will move out of that house because of your own shit, you know. So be careful. Mwangi, do you want to share some designs that Victor has done just for endorsement?
Yeah,
And
sure.
Victor, which is that? Which one was this?
That's an ongoing project.
Yeah.
It's in Komarok along Kagundo Road.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an ongoing project by Akai. It's called Akai Group.
Okay. The next
Yes.
one, Mwangi. Which is this one?
This is a mall that is also, it's about to be complete. It's only that the pictures that we have are a little bit backdated. It's a mall in Isili. It's called Draftsman in Isili. It's about to be complete. Yes.
All right. Which other one, Mwangi, do you have close by? Which is this?
This is a project proposal. It hasn't commenced yet. It's not in Kenya. It's in Gerowe. Gerowe is in Somalia. It's a project proposal. When it goes through, groundbreaking should be probably in the course of next year.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
Any residential, and which is this one?
It's still the same hotel.
This one in Gerowe, okay.
Yes.
And
yes. that is those are the 3D impressions of the Rasmi Mall in Isili.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other, Mwangi?
That's all I have. No, that's all I have.
No, you have one. You don't have any homes, any domestic dwelling? No?
I think you mentioned Salim that he did your house. Your house
But nobody knows my house. Anyway, members, what you do is if you check the post where I was promising you or talking to you or, making an announcement about this broadcast, you will see some houses there. And just before we say bye to Victor, please remember that if you want a discount and you want to speak with Victor, drop your need on this thread and we'll be able to give you a code, and the same code will be shared with Victor. Then you can reach out to him and he'll be able to work out a discount. Victor, please be kind to our members. This is the reason why we are a team, why we are a group. So if you want members, if you want to reach out to Victor directly, his numbers are, Mwangi?
Yeah, I have them.
So Architect Victor's number is 0721 372 944, and this is his work line, nothing personal, people. This is his work line. So please, we are sharing it with you here because we know you're people of integrity. Do the right thing with that number. If you need a code, let us know so that we can be a go-between, and then you will be able to get a good discount. So Architect Victor Jose Mwai, thank you for showing up. Thank you for educating us. If we need further clarity, we will reach out to you on the thread. Please be kind enough to respond. And I guess it's at this point that we say thank you very much and good luck to EcoFlash. You are going far. I have seen your project personally, and I think you're going very, very far. So Kangumu, economy ningumu, trust God, work hard, and you will get there. Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Victor. We look forward to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Nice. So members, now that we have said bye to our guest, there are a few things that I'd like to highlight. First of all, our YouTube channel. All these shows are actually loaded onto our YouTube channel. It's called Builders and Co-Creators on YouTube, and Mwangi will be helping us by dropping the link on the thread. Please, if you missed any, kindly log in and watch. at your own time, at your own pace. Secondly, we have a page. This is a group, but we have a page also called Builders and Co-Creators. Here we will be posting some recordings when you go to site visits, when we interview people on the ground. You will be able to actually see what's happening there. You'll be able to learn, observe, watch, ask questions. So please, please, please like our page. It is Builders and Co-Creators. And the third avenue would be our Telegram group. If you're on Telegram, please find us on Builders and Co-Creators Official. Builders and Co-Creators Official. That would be the other avenue to interact with us. If you have questions, drop it there. There are many members. How many people are following on Telegram, Mwangi?
We have, I think, 1,001. About,
yes, so be the 1,002th and second member. Yeah, for, log onto Builders and Co-Creators Official and check what we do. Finally, members, the opportunity for sponsorship is here. You can see how valuable these sessions are, how educative or educational these sessions are. If you work for a company, or if you have a company that is willing to sponsor the Builders Baraza, please reach out to us. Mwangi's number is Mwangi?
Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah, I'll be sharing shortly. Please continue.
All right, or my number on the thread. Please reach out to us, and we will be able to tell you what rates are, because that is commercial. We'll be able to tell you what the rates are to sponsor a session of the Builders Baraza. And today, members, we hope that you have a good time. We hope that you are more enlightened than you were when you first began. Thank you for engaging with us, and thank you for interacting. Thank you for tuning in. Watch out for the next Builders Baraza session on Thursday at 8:30. Keep well, have a blessed week, keep building, and God bless you. Bye.